All right, welcome to this overview video. We're going to be covering the brand new Rotator, the Lead Share Rotator. Which is a super powerful tool, you guys. It's once I explain to you exactly how this thing works and the levels at which it goes to help build your downline, it's going to blow you away. So let's get started on this thing. So we're going to go ahead and log into the back office here. Okay, we're logging in as a test account here. Okay, so on the home page here, guys, you'll notice up in the main menu, you got a new link up here called Rotator. Okay, we'll get to that here in just a second. Before I go into that, I kind of want to give a little bit of some information on how this system works, and then I'll go in there and I'll show you how to set it up and the whole 9 yards. Okay, so number one is you still have all your links, right? So you have your Smart Card Revolution funnel, which has all the new videos and everything. You have the Pioneer funnel, and then you also have your keyword. Okay, those are your 3 entrance points, or 3 different ways to be able to market with the Revv system. Okay, now what the Rotator does is the Rotator allows you to be able to share the leads that opt in to your capture pages or text in your keyword with the people that are in your organization, with the people that are in your downline. Okay, now which is it's so cool. it's super powerful. Okay, so you as the business owner, you're not going to really change anything. You're going to continue marketing your page, your capture pages and your keywords exactly the way that you currently are now. Okay, nothing on that front is going to change. Okay, now the way this works is as you continue to market and you send people to your Smart Card Revolution funnel. Okay, let's say they go to here. You're gonna send someone to your Smart Card Revolution funnel. Okay, and they scroll down and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna opt in for this, and they opt in. Okay, now what the system is going to do is it's going to send them out the confirmation email. Okay, the prospect still has to confirm their email address, but once they confirm their email address, what it's going to do is it's going to look to this Rotator, okay, and see where we should be pointing that prospect. Okay, so now, so what happens is the prospect goes to your capture page, they opt in, they go to their email, and they confirm. As soon as they confirm, they're taken to the confirmation page, okay, which has the presentation video, the new presentation video. It takes them to the confirmation page of the person that you're rotating to. Okay, so that way the Get Started button is linked to that person you're sharing the lead with. Okay, it's pretty powerful. Okay, now what this also does is the follow-up responders that get triggered out, all of the email autoresponders here, right? All of these email autoresponders that have the links down at the bottom, those links are going to be set to the person that you shared that lead with. Okay, which is awesome, right? So you're going out, you're doing the marketing, and you're sharing the lead and the follow-up with your prospect, or with the people in your organization. Okay, now this is super powerful. Now what this also does at the same time, when somebody does opt in and confirms their email address, you, as the person who generated that lead, you are going to receive a notification from the Revv system that says you just shared this lead. You just shared a lead with this person, and it gives you that person's name and their phone number of who you shared it with in your downline, and it also gives you the name and phone number of the lead that opted in. So that way, you, as the person who generated it, can work with your team on that lead together to bring them in. Okay, just super powerful. Okay, now I'm going to show you the Rotator So this is the rotator, and this is just for example, guys. Okay, so I just set this up with another test account I have for professional marketing design with our good friend Dave Dove and Ed Terranova. Okay, because they both use the Revv system as well. Okay, and so here's how this works. Okay, so anybody that you're going to add to your rotator, they also have to have an active Revv system account. Okay, so which is very important to understand. Okay, and the reason why we set it up like this is because we want, when you're sharing your lead with somebody, you want that prospect to be receiving follow-up messages from the person that you're sharing that lead with. Okay, which requires them to have a Revv system account so we know who to trigger those emails from. Okay, which is super important. So if I go out, if I go out and I generate a lead, and I share one with, let's say Dave's in my downline, right? And I share a lead with Dave. Well, Dave has to have the Revv system because the follow-up messages that are going to be triggered are going to be coming from him, right? As soon as the prospect confirms their email address, they're going to be sent to Dave's confirmation page. Okay, they're going to be sent to Dave's confirmation page. So if they click on the Get Started button, then they're linked to Dave's rNetwork corporate page. Okay, so everybody who does who you put into your rotator, they do have to have an active Revv system account. Okay, now so what you need to do is get their rNetwork ID number, and you put that in here. Okay, and it will pull up. If they don't have an account, it will show you like an error. So if I do, just a test here, I'll just throw in some numbers, and I click on Add, it'll tell you user is not found. Okay, so they have to have an active Revv system account. Okay, but once they do, you can put them in, and then you can see it gives us all these different different settings. Okay, so now number one at the very top here, you have an on-off switch. Okay, so default it's turned off. Okay, so if it is turned off, that means all of the leads that opt in from your capture pages and from people who text in your keyword will come to you. Okay, now if you turn this on, as soon as someone confirms their email address or they text in your keyword, it will rotate them to the next person in your rotator list. Okay, which is super powerful. And we're just getting started, guys. This is just the beginning part of this. Okay, there's a whole nother level of this that I'm going to talk about here in just a second. We're going to go over the settings and how all that stuff works, and then I'll get into the real power of this rotator. Okay, so as you're setting this up, you put in the rNetwork ID number of the people that you want to put in. So let's say I'm going to do, I talked with Dave, and I want to put him in my rotator twice for every one of everybody else. So I can take his ID number and I can put him in here twice. Okay, then I can move him up so that he's side by side, right? So that way, as I'm going out and I'm marketing, I'm going to send Dave 2 leads to each one that I'm sending to everybody else in my rotator. Okay, so you can move these, you can move them up. Okay, you can move them all the way up. You can move them down if you want to. However you want to set this up. Okay, you can delete if you need to delete. You can do that. You can delete them out. Okay, so let's say I'm going to delete this one out here. I just hit on OK, and they're out of the rotator. Okay, so now I turn my rotator on, and I'm going to start with Dave. So I'm going to set Dave to be the next person in the rotator. And I'm going to click on OK. What this is going to do is it's going to highlight his line blue. So whichever line is blue, that's the next person in your rotator that is going to receive a lead when they opt in and confirm. Okay, so this gives you the ability to change your rotator whenever you need to. You can weight your rotator. So like, let's say I want to give Eddie over here, let's say I want to give him a weight of 3. So I'm going to add him in, and then I'm going to add him in again. So now each time the rotator goes down, Dave's going to get 2, and Ed's going to get 3. Okay. Now, if I want to delete that out, I can manage that. I can say, okay, we'll delete that out. I'm just going to take it down to 1 each. Okay. I'm going to do 1 each. Okay. So that's how that works. Okay. Very simple, but super, super powerful, right? Now, here's where the real strength of this rotator comes in, is we have a compounding factor, okay, that comes into play here. So let's say I'm now obviously Dave and Ed are not in my downline, okay, guys. I just put them in here just for just for a testing and just a training purposes, just to kind of show you guys how this thing works, okay. But now let's say Dave has his own Revv system, okay, or he wouldn't show up in here, okay. So he's got an active account with the Revv system, and he's next up on my rotator, okay. But let's say Dave has turned his rotator on, okay, and he has 5 people in his rotator, okay. So now when I go out and I generate my next lead, it's going to come to Dave. Well, guess what? It's going to go, okay, Dave, is your rotator turned on? Who's next in your rotator? And it's going to send it to them, okay? And this will drill down until it gets to the final person at the end, okay, who needs the lead, right? And so that way, at the end of the day, what we're doing is we're helping everybody. We're helping like the newest people, as long as they're in the rotator, right? So you want to set your rotator up, okay? You definitely want to set your rotator up, but it's rotating all the leads from anybody who's using the Revv system that's connected with their rotators connected to each other. Everybody's working together to build the organization, okay? And this can have a compounding factor on it as well, right? And so, because let's say there's someone above me, right, that generates a lead. Well, it's going to go to my rotator. Okay, who's next in Brian's rotator? Oh, it's Dave. Okay, who's next in Dave's rotator? Oh, it's John. Okay, who's next in John's rotator? Oh, it's Bill. Oh, well, Bill doesn't have his rotator turned on, so he needs the lead, so it's going to go to Bill. Okay, and then the person above me gets the notification saying, you just shared a lead with Bill. Here's Bill's phone number. Here's the lead and the lead's phone number. So that way you can work with Bill to help him bring that client in, bring that customer in, which is super powerful, okay? Now I know that's a lot. That's why we did this video, so that you can kind of like maybe watch the video over and over again, maybe a couple times, watch this section over a couple of times, so to get a really good understanding of how powerful this really is. Now, when all this transpires, we have a new thing in our list. Okay, so in the list now, you have a new tab, which is shared prospects. Okay, so as soon as you share a prospect with somebody, they're going to show up in this shared prospects with the person who opted in, their name, phone, and email, because you generated that person, right? And then it's going to give you the name of the person that you shared that lead with. Okay, now, which is really cool. So you can see who you're sharing your leads with, and you can adjust your rotator accordingly. Now, let's say you receive a lead from somebody. Okay, let's say you're in somebody's rotator and you receive a lead. Well, if you receive a lead, that's going to show up in your master list, and it will show up in I believe it's like a reddish color. So, but it'll show their name and their phone, their email, and if it was shared from somebody, it will show who that was shared from, and it will be highlighted in, I believe it's like a reddish color. So it'll show there. So that way you can see who's sharing leads with you, and you can work together with who you're in, the whole 9 yards. It's a very, very team-driven marketing tool. So guys, that is the overview of the Rotator. We're super we're so excited about this thing. It goes hand in hand with the referral program. Get out there and you refer your 3 to get it for free. Build out your rotators, build out your teams, and all you have to do is exactly what you've been doing all along, is marketing your capture pages. So it doesn't matter if your prospects come in through the Smart Card Revolution funnel, or they come in through the Pioneer funnel, or they text in your keyword to the 844 number. Everything is going to be pushed to that rotator. So if you have your rotator turned on and you have people in that rotator, it's going to rotate those people accordingly. And so, guys, that's the overview of the rotator. If you have any questions, please make sure and click on the Let's Chat down here. Be happy to cover any questions that you might have. But yeah, there you guys go. The rotator's finally here. That's it. Have yourself a wonderful day.